Welcome to Inside JCCC. My name is Joe Sopcich and I'm the president here of Johnson County Community College. Inside JCCC provides you with a behind-the-scenes look into what goes on in one of our over 20 buildings that we have on 234 acres here on our campus. But what's really important is what goes on behind those walls. Our faculty and staff put on the best programs possible that will ensure success for our students and help them in the classroom and beyond. So sit back and enjoy, and welcome to Inside JCCC.
Welcome to Johnson County Community College. My name is Austin Skibby and I'm a student here. This edition of Inside JCCC takes you through the college's Industrial Training Center, also known as ITC. The ITC is a unique building on the college campus. It came about when JCCC entered into a partnership with BNSF Railway in 1986. The result is the largest railroad training facility in the country. Built on the college campus in 1988 and expanded in 1993. The building was financed through city revenue bonds, with the college assuming 1/3 of the cost of construction and receiving ownership of the building after 10 years. BNSF exercises its option to lease the facilities on a 5-year basis. Originally intended to train only BNSF employees, the training center over the years has come to serve other railroads as well. As many as 14,000 railroad employees come to JCCC each year for training from the United States and Mexico. The college was awarded a presidential citation by Vice President George Bush in 1987. Recognizing the partnership as a successful model of cooperation between education and industry. In 1993 to 1994, the college and BNSF established the National Academy of Railroad Sciences, NARS, at JCCC. Approximately 500 students are enrolled each year in credit programs, leading to Associate of Applied Science degrees and vocational certificates in railroad electronics, railroad industrial technology, and railroad operations.
Sweet. Release.
My name is Terry Murphy-Latta. I'm the director of the National Academy of Railroad Sciences. We've had the opportunity to work with BNSF Railways. They use their technical expertise along with our expertise in teaching and learning. And so we've been able to work together since the mid-'80s to develop a strong railroad program. And it's renowned throughout the United States with short lines and with other Class I railroads. Our students will often get a certificate, whether that's anywhere from 4 weeks to 8 weeks that they're here in class. And then with that certificate, they can build that onto an associate's degree and get their associate's degree. Some students may go on and get a bachelor's degree, but we also have students that come in here with a bachelor's or a master's and just want to get that certificate so they have those skills they need to work as a railroad conductor, welder, signalman. We have world-class facilities. We are lucky enough to have BNSF's National Training Headquarters. It's right here behind the glass doors. Their labs are beyond anything that you've ever seen. They have locomotive engines, they have cranes, they have electrical cabinetry that you would see in a real locomotive. So our students are able to use those labs and to get that hands-on training on that equipment that's still safe and it's not a piece of moving equipment where they may or may not be injured. So they have that opportunity to see that, to work with railroaders every day that are out on the rail that are used to the moving side. So what they do is they learn the skills in the classroom, they go into the labs and use the labs, and then they have an opportunity for the hands-on training in the real scenario. Other resources that we have the opportunity to use because of our partnership with BNSF is a rail yard, and it's about 5 miles west of here. There are a number of cars. I believe there are about 15 to 20 rail cars. There are live locomotives. It's a live track. So our students actually are kicking cars and working on a live track. And it's close by, and they're supervised by not only JCCC instructors, but BNSF conductors and engineers. our students come from everywhere, and I think that's one of the unique qualities that we have in this program. They're from all over the United States, Alaska, Canada, and they're anywhere from 18 years old to 50 plus years old. The job outlook is excellent. The baby boomers that are in the railroad industry are retiring. They can retire at age 60 with 30 years of service. So the railroads are seeing a lot of their workforce in that looking at retirement or retiring. So they're hiring a large group of folks to go into their workforce. Right now, if you look in our building and what we're doing, we have 2 or 3 shifts going on all the time. So there's a lot of people coming in and out of the ITC. Oftentimes we hear, I've always wanted to work for the railroad and I put it off, or my friend's gone to this program and I want to do this. And we hear this time and time again, this has changed my life. This program has changed my life.
My name is Tim Brown. I'm an assistant professor of railroad operations for the National Academy of Railroad Science. I've been in my current position since March of 2011. Being a partnership with the BNSF Railway, we have access to their labs. We have in-class equipment to do hands-on training. We also do training out into the actual field environment to where they can operate with all the tasks that a basic conductor would do in their job. Our course in-house is 6 weeks long, and we do 5 of those weeks in classroom training and 1 week with hands-on out into the field environment. The students who enter our program are career-minded individuals. They basically come to this course as a way to gain a competitive edge in obtaining employment with the railroads. Our students come from all over the United States. We've had students as far away as Alaska come here. We just had a student that graduated in a class previous to this one we're in, came from New York. And we have several local students from around the Kansas City area that attend. The way we train our students is most of the railroad operations consist of rules. And so we have many of our classes are presentations on the operating rules, safety rules. We have rules in air brake, train handling. So a lot of that knowledge is academic in nature because they do have to memorize a lot of rules and regulations. Now, we take it a step beyond that. When we go out to the field environment, they put many of these rules into play, actually operating with the equipment, doing all the basic tasks that a conductor would do out in a live rail yard with locomotives and rail cars. A conductor, they're responsible for the administration of that train. Basically on the ground, making sure cars go where they need to go, picking up cars that need to be picked up, and making sure the freight arrives at its destination without damage and on time. The job outlook is strong for conductors. It has been for the past several years, and it continues across the board with all railroads. After they get done with their training, the 6 weeks initial training, they could go right out and get a job on whatever railroad they decide to hire out for. The job outlook is looking very good for conductors. We're industry specific. We're not railroad specific. We want to teach people how to be a conductor on any railroad, and so that's what we lean toward. Now, all railroads, they have access to our students. They do apply for different railroads, and many of them go on to work for any one of the big Class 1 railroads and even short line railroads. My favorite part of the job, hands down, is watching a student come to our class. The first day they come nervous, they don't know what to expect. Many of them have never been around the railroad at all. And then to see them in that first day confused, and then watch them progress from day to day to day, especially when we go out to week 4 and do our hands-on training, you start seeing the eye of the student gain that confidence in knowing that they're learning what we want them to learn. So that's the most gratifying part of this job for me.
My name is Jason Mueller, and I'm a teacher here at Johnson County Community College. I started here at the college in around 2000 for the welding program to teach specifically to BNSF employees their specific welding criteria that they need. Well, I'd like to state that we have 15 different welding classes that we teach, and it's broke up into maintenance of way, building and bridges, and the mechanics. And I'm more on the side of maintenance of way and the building and bridges. And some of them in the maintenance of way would be our beginning classes, and thermite is a big one of those. The thermite welding class that we teach here is a specialized process that is used to weld two rail ends together. And we teach the students how to line the rail, how to gap it properly, and then we put a special kit of molds that's designed for that size of rail on there, and then we go through some processes of packing it and putting it up there together and so forth, and then we have a thermatic charge that fits in what is called a crucible. And that crucible is a pot that is degradable after it's used, and we put this charge of iron oxide and aluminum, and it creates a thermic reaction, and then it turns to liquefied steel and it pours down into the mold. After the liquid steel has poured down into the molds, there's a predetermined time that we wait, and we do a teardown process where we start dismantling the jackets and break the molds off. After that time is done, then we have to shear the head of the riser off and then do a grinding process. So it's far more detailed than what people think of just a bunch of sparks and smoke. Well, the training here at the college is, we do it 9.5 days, or basically 2 weeks that they come in from 7:30 to 4:30 or all day long. And that's just part of their training that they have to do to learn thermite. Then they have to go out on track and perform welds under supervision to become qualified. And that may take, several weeks out there after they get done with the class, or months to get trained. But usually when they leave here, they have a good understanding of what they're going to do, and then they'll perform certain welds out there underneath the supervision. On the other classes that we have, everything we have basically on the welding side is hands-on. We have a lot of lecture involved in the beginning classes, and then we go out into labs like you see here that you're looking around possibly, and we do hands-on welding. And it's very intense, fast-paced training, which seems to work very well for these people, and they get it accomplished pretty quickly. We have a range of beginning classes all the way up to advanced welding, such as our structures side for B&B, the weld on the bridges and so forth. When a student comes here and he starts in a beginning class, such as it used to be elements, he'd go through elements, basic, rail switch point, frog, and thermite. And it may take him several years to get back here through all those classes, or there might be, they go through rather quickly. But because they got to come off work to come here, they're being paid to be here. They're on the job while they're here. This is a unique place, and the labs that we have are specific for what we do. And this facility, as far as I know, there's no other facility like it around the United States that does the training that we do at the capacity we do, and the intensity level that we do it at. On this grand scale, and the partnership with, the college here has worked out real well. And all of the instructors are college employees that are teaching to BNSF employees.
Hi, I'm John Barnes. I'm an instructor at Johnson County Community College. I teach welding for Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad, and I've been doing this since around 1992. Typically, the first day is all classroom, so we're in there for 8 hours the first day. And then we start dividing it up between classroom and shop, and by the second week of the program, it's mostly shop work. Just a little bit of review from what we did in the book the first week. Have a variety of students that come in, all the way from people who've never struck an arc before to people who've been welding 20 and 30 years. And we start them all out in a beginning class, assume they know nothing, and we get to more advanced classes probably as we get into the advanced classes, we're specifically getting into the railroad regulations, both from the Burlington Northern Santa Fe and the Federal Railroad Administration. It's enjoyable teaching the railroad employees. You have very few problems. People are here to learn. It's part of their job. They're serious about it. That makes it real enjoyable. And the variety of people. Well, most of them are here because the company requires them to come for training. They're good, a lot of them are good welders when they come in, but we tend to fine tune, make them better. And the technical side of it, the stuff out of the book, that's when light bulbs start going on, so they understand how the electricity works, how the metallurgy works, what volts, amps, and watts are. It all comes together when we get out in the lab. We don't fit the normal mold. When you teach 9 hours a day for 2 weeks and do 3 credit hour class in 2 weeks, that's amazing. You just cram it all in and then you spread it out. They like to get them through in a 3-year period. That's the goal of the company is to get everybody trained in the first 3 years they're on the job.
ITC also houses the college's own computer-assisted drafting, electronics technology, and engineering technology programs. Students there work on up-to-date equipment, learning from faculty who are well-versed in what the business and industry need.
My name is Jonathan Miller. I'm a chair and professor of architecture here at Johnson County Community College. JCCC's architecture program actually started back in 1994, so we've been here for some time now. We've developed a lot of good relationships with other universities, and we offer a very wide curriculum of courses. It's not just about architecture. Within the field of architecture, it's so broad. Things like architecture, obviously, but they can also go into urban planning, which is planning of cities and whole developments and those kind of urban cores. They can also do environmental design. Most people know that as interior design, but environmental design, dealing with the whole atmosphere of basically where we live and work every day, is typically inside. It's not just the exterior building elements that most people tend to think about. Construction management. How do buildings get built? You know, as a designer, you have to understand what happens in those processes. And just design itself. A lot of people used to think of that as industrial design. Nowadays, that's just called design. But it's literally designing and interacting with every element that we use on a daily basis. And our students have experiences in all those areas within our curriculum. The classes here in architecture at JCC are really geared around 3 basic principles. The first one is just studio classes. That's where they design, they make, they build, kind of that hands-on sort of class atmosphere. The other classes are in architectural history and design. That gives the students a really well-rounded program approach to past history, culture, society, and just the built environment in general. The other types of courses are dealing with actually architecture today. What are professionals doing? What are actual architects? What are designs actually doing out in the modern practice of architecture? Classes around in the architecture program are offered pretty much every day of the week, night classes, day classes, all throughout the week to really accommodate the student schedules. The faculty within the architecture program have a very diverse background. Some of them are actually practicing architects. Some of them are designers. Some of them are full-time professors. We also instill within our program visiting professors and visiting professionals as well. The classes within the architecture program are very unique in themselves. In one class, the students actually go out into the neighborhoods in Kansas City and see what they can find, learn some history, develop what the culture is around Kansas City. Other things that the students have access to within the architecture department are things like a CAD lab, things like other multimedia sources. They can check out their own laptops. We have digital cameras at their ready. We have printers and online printers and digital atmosphere and scanners. So students have a wide array of equipment that they can use also. The classes within the architecture program generally are fairly small, around 15 to 20. We like to keep that size so that a real relationship develops between the professors and the students. And with our hands-on approach, that really enhances the classes themselves. Our students are really master builders once they achieve that career status. Architects literally design the world itself. Our architecture students are prepared to succeed in design. And really, at the most basic critical element, that's to transfer to a major university. Our students have a very high success rate in completing those degrees afterwards. We really encourage our students to think big. We want them to think global, not just what they know around here, but literally go out to the world and succeed in the world of design and architecture. What I like the most about teaching here at JCCC is just the students themselves. They're so interactive. When I was a partner in the architectural firm, you tend to get a little bit static because it's the same projects that come down the pipe. And here, the students really challenge you. They're asking you different questions every day. There's a real interplay. I still get to interact with professionals on a daily basis. And of course, a lot of people say you teach for the summers. And so I travel a lot along with the other professors in the program. And so again, we get out, see what's actually going on in the environment and experience those for our students and bring those back into the classroom.
My name's Robert Dye, and I'm assistant professor here at Johnson County Community College, and I teach in the construction management program. Our coursework here is largely based on industry standards. We do tie in with a lot of outside certification organizations to make sure that our students are learning is relevant to what they're going to be practicing whenever they enter the workforce. We've recently had approval from the state for our 2-year associate degree in construction management. So that's new here at Johnson County Community College. The construction management program here at Johnson County Community College prepares students to work for commercial construction companies primarily. Some of our courses are hybrid courses, meaning that they have a classroom component as well as an online component, but all of our classes do have an online component. We think that's important because that's how construction work is done these days. A large part of it is collaboration online, and we want our students to be comfortable in that environment. The faculty in the construction management department here all have a relevant degree, a 4-year degree in construction science or architecture or engineering. In addition, they have extensive work experience. In other words, they've been in the industry practicing what we're teaching in the class. And so that brings in some real-world applications to what we're talking about, either in the textbook or in the presentations in the classes. All of our classes in the construction management program are limited, typically to only 18 students. So it's a very small group, particularly as compared to a big 4-year university where they have huge lecture halls. So that works well, and that the students and the professors get to know each other and can work together, and that's conducive to a good learning environment. Some of the other topics that are drawn into our program, of course, are AutoCAD and Building Information Modeling, BIM. Those are prevalent in our industry today and projected to keep growing. So those are important concepts for our students. The students that we have in our program here come from 3 basic kind of broad groups. One set would be recent high school graduates. They may not have any construction experience, but they're continuing on with their formal education. They may be coming here for a certificate or a 2-year degree, or they may be preparing to go on to a 4-year university. The second group that we have are people who are already working in the industry. The third group are just career changers. They're people that are in the real estate business or whatever, and they've decided, I need to know more about construction, or I want to learn about how to buy and flip properties or whatever. Some people come in from business management courses. Some people come in from the electrical program or whatever. So we do have that third group of people that are interested in it, but in kind of a tangential way. The students are great. They come here they're intentional. They know what they're doing. They know where they're going. And they're very excited about it. I sometimes joke that those of us in the construction industry are the most optimistic people in the world. And because we always know the next job is going to be the best one. And I think our students are that. They're really dedicated.
I'm Susan Johnson. I'm the department chair and a professor of engineering here at Johnson County Community College. Engineering is a science, and it's also a little bit of an art. Engineers need to be able to look at a situation, figure out if there's a problem, and if there's a problem, figure out a process to solve that problem, and then to solve the problem. So whether it's in civil engineering or mechanical engineering or electrical engineering, it's all about identifying problems and solving them. The engineering program here at Johnson County Community College is a transfer program. So students who desire to become a licensed professional engineer need to have a 4-year engineering degree. Students can come here for the first year or 2 of that 4 years and get their basic classes. Transferring engineering courses from Johnson County Community College to any 4-year engineering college is very important to us here at the college, and we want students to be able to transfer the classes they take. We've worked with area engineering colleges, mostly with Kansas State University, the University of Kansas, and Wichita State University, and even with Missouri colleges also, to ensure that the classes that students take here at the college, at Johnson County Community College, will transfer in those engineering programs. If a student plans on working as a licensed professional engineer, a 4-year Bachelor of Science in Engineering is required. There's actually a number of 2-year degrees that you can get here at Johnson County Community College that are engineering related. A couple of the ones that I can think of are the CAD Drafting and Design program. That prepares a student to work in an engineering design firm. They work right alongside the engineers as an engineering technician. We also have 2-year programs in information technology and computer science areas, if you're more interested in the computer area rather than the design area. The classes in the engineering program here are fairly small. Many of the classes have 20 or less students. We don't have large lecture halls with freshman math classes and freshman science classes that you might see at larger universities. Typically, by the 2nd week of the class, most of your instructors will know your name. Johnson County Community College has a great honors program. It's for those students that are high achieving. You need to have an ACT composite score of 25 or above and a high school GPA of 3.5 or above. But if you meet those criteria, then we have a dynamic program for our honors students. You get to meet one-on-one with faculty. You work with other really high-achieving students, and oftentimes the credits that you earn through the honors program will transfer to a 4-year university into their honors program. Here on campus, we have over 75 student organizations that students can be involved with. For engineering students, they might be interested in our engineering club or the academic quiz bowl team. I definitely like interacting with the students. I love to see new students come. They're so excited about engineering. They want to be engineers. They want to get out in the world and solve those problems. And I am here to help them. That's my sole purpose of being here.
I'm Damon Fearborn. I'm an instructor here in the drafting department at Johnson County Community College.
So it's this long.
Our program here at Johnson County Community College really prepares a student for a drafting technician position at engineering, architecture, civil firms. We use a state-of-the-art lab to teach various software packages that will do markups for drawings and create detailed items that are used in construction. Our classes here at Johnson County Community College most of them are lecture lab-based classes where the student is gaining lecture information while the instructor is present. And then even in that same classroom setting, the lecture ends and it becomes a lab-based class, but the instructor is always present with the student to, at that time, give one-on-one instruction if needed based on the lecture material or the labs being done at that time.
Oh, that green light.
Yeah.
That was what it was.
Oh, we offer CAD classes all year. We have summer offerings of certain classes. We have fall and spring offerings of classes. Some classes are only offered in the spring and some classes are only offered in the fall, but we offer classes in the evening, we offer classes on the weekends. So we try to tailor our class offerings to get the industry professional that has a full-time job, have them have an available class to take to help out, as well as the typical daytime student. We have classes for them as well. So our drafting faculty here at the college are all highly skilled and they are very knowledgeable about the subjects they teach. They really have a desire to help the student learn. They really take time out of their busy schedules to focus on the student's needs, and if the student has a desire to learn more, they really want to help the student. They have industry connections with industry professionals that are relating class, and it's all instructors in the department are really student-centered to help the student get what they need. Our class sizes here at the college in the drafting department are anywhere between 10 and 20 students, but even at 20 students we have a very low teacher-to-student ratio. So as well as the two state-of-the-art CAD labs that we keep up to date with software, we always stay up to date with current software, so any student completing the program will be fully capable and ready to jump right into a profession and not feel that they're displaced with the software they're using. We also have a variety of output devices that the students are capable and able to use. We have a 3D printer where they are able to create 3D models on the computer and output those and test those for tolerances and design flaws and things of that nature. And so that's getting to be really big right now, is that three-dimensional output type of thing. We of course have the large-scale plotters that can do, you know, E-size sheets, so we can output that. And that's really our focus here with the program, is getting the student able to output those technical drawings and output those devices that are used in industry. So our graduates are really prepared to enter manufacturing firms and construction firms at a technician level, and really go into those firms with a wide range of knowledge that will help them be successful. My favorite thing about being a professor here in the drafting department at Johnson County Community College is working one-on-one with a student and seeing that student progress through the program and eventually, hopefully, get that job that they're here for, and seeing that look on the student's face is really gratifying to me.
Hi, I'm Chip Cody. I'm the chair of the electronics program here at Johnson County Community College. Well, the electronics program here at Johnson County Community College has several parts. The most important is a 2-year Associate of Applied Sciences degree, which covers a wide range of topics, analog and digital electronics. We have a few specialized certificates, more on the 1 to 2 semester time frame, in such things as industrial electronics, like we teach in this lab, computer repair, communication systems. The classes are primarily offered in the fall and spring semester. We have a rotation system so students can work their way through a 2-year degree in about 4 semesters. We typically have a reduced offering in the summer for a few students that want to come, but generally you would be taking them over a 4-quarter or 4-semester time frame, 2 years approximately. Most of our students would expect to go out and work in the field as some type of technician, either troubleshooting and repairing equipment, installing it, maintaining it. A few of our students get more involved in the sales and service type of thing, where they represent a company selling and promoting equipment, but the company wants the person to have a good technical background to work with. We've had people work for both private and governmental bodies, so a wide range, big field. The classes that we offer here at JCCC range from the very basic to the very advanced. All of them are a mixture of theory, hands-on combination. The theory will typically be lecture discussion groups on how things work. The hands-on, done in labs like this, is where the student gets a chance to work with actual equipment, build systems, troubleshoot systems, install systems, just like they'd be doing out in the field. To keep our programs up to date, we do a number of things. First of all, everybody in my program, like me, is a major nerd. We love this stuff. We like gadgets, new things. We're constantly wondering how new things work. The electronics faculty here is something I'm very proud of. We have quite a mixture of skill levels, experience, and so on. We have a few full-time professors and several adjuncts, part-time professors who work with us. One of the things that I'm most proud of is everybody that teaches here, anybody that we're willing to hire, either has or is still working in the field of electronics. We don't have anybody who's been simply taught electronics in school and never worked as a technician or an installer. Oh, the kinds of students we get here at JCCC is a wide range, being a community college. I have students still in high school, taking some of my classes. They're in the College Now program and so on. Most of my students typically are recent high school graduates. We get a number of people who are working in the field and need to come back and update skills and so on. We get retirees in our brown and gold program that want to come and learn how PCs work or something of that nature. So in a typical class, I'll have students between 17 and up to 60 plus, and male, female, wide range. In addition to our own degree, our classes are often used as support for other degrees. So for example, students in automotive that want to learn more about the advanced electronics in newer cars, students over in the IT program in the Rainier Center who want more actual PC hardware skills will often come and use our classes either as electives within their own program or just to get additional knowledge.
A tour of the college's Industrial Training Center gives you a glimpse at the latest technology. I hope you enjoyed the visit.